gorgeous manifestors. So my name is Sarah Morgan. I am the creator of Mastering the Art of Manifesting. And I'm coming on today to do a series of 5 live sessions with an amazing psychic medium called Katie Helliwell. Her Facebook group is called White Spirits and Feathers. White Spirits and White Feathers. And we are wanting to help you guys to set yourself up for an incredible 2018. I'll just wait for Katie to log on and then I'll add her into the live. But Katie and I both massively followed our hearts earlier this year, both took massive leaps, both did things that felt really scary at the time, but both of the things that we've done have reflected what our passions are, and now we've done that, we are just creating incredible lives and businesses. We're having so much fun, and I think we're both just wondering why we didn't do it sooner. Hey Jane, so I'm just going to see if Katie can see me and log on, because I'm not sure whether she can. We might have a bit of a technical issue. Katie's in Mexico at the moment, which is very exciting, so let me just message her. And yeah, I think it's just you, Jane, at the moment. So I'll just wait for Katie to log on. Is that Katie there now? It's the first time we're doing this. So Katie's on holiday in Mexico, all right for some. So I'm just waiting for her to just tell me whether she's there. Fabulous. Right, I think I can add her in. Here we go. Bring Katie on camera. So let's go. Bear with. This will be much slicker tomorrow. Right. So I'm just waiting for Katie to accept. Hey. Hello. How are you?
Hang on. Can everyone see me okay? Because you won't let me have it the other way around as I planned. So if I lean back like that, can you see me okay?
Yes, yeah. We can see you. So Katie's in glorious Mexico. So Katie, I was just literally did some very quick intro, just kind of, I guess, just talking about why we put this mini series together, and saying how we want people to really, we want to help people unearth their passions and to follow them with boldness and bravery and just do what makes their heart sing. So if you just want, are you okay just to explain a bit more about that, just while I share this into my group and to your group?
So myself and Sarah were like really excited about doing this, really excited, because we both spent so long doing things that didn't make our hearts sing, it didn't make us happy, and we didn't necessarily realise that we weren't that happy at the time, if that makes sense. You just tend to drift along, you get into a rhythm of life and you sort of lose yourself a little bit, and that's how we both felt. And I had a discovery call with Sarah, and at the time I was doing really well, I was being really successful, and I'd built up a great network marketing business, and I just felt a little bit like something was missing. That's how I've always felt, something was missing, and I didn't know what that something was, and I just felt a little bit lost, I suppose, but I didn't realise I felt like that until I'd spoken to Sarah, and Sarah just made me sort of look at my life very differently and what it was I was looking for. And just be eternally grateful to her for that call. Eternally grateful, because I literally sat there and went, ooh, and I started crying, and I don't know where those tears came from. It wasn't down my face, and Sarah was like, oh darling, are you okay? And I was like, it was honestly, it was just, if I look back now, it was just hilarious. But it was just one of those things where it just changed my life. That discovery call completely changed my life, and now we want to help as many people as possible change your life and just put a really positive spin on everything and really unlock your passion. You know, what are you striving for? What is it that makes you really want to jump out of bed in the morning? Because both Sarah and I now are just like, we can't wait to work, we just can't wait to help more people, to do our job. And you know, I'm on holiday at the moment, it's not even 9 o'clock and I'm up out of bed, and anyone that knows me well knows that doesn't happen. And I'm up here live chatting to you guys because I'm so passionate about helping you all. I'm so passionate about what I do. And I can't believe that my passion was literally staring me in the face the whole time. And that's the part that I don't feel angry about, but I feel as if it was the right timing for me. Timing's everything. But I feel a bit stupid, if that makes sense, that it was staring me in the face the whole time, and I went round and did everything else. And the spirits must have been like, goodness sake, woman, you've tried every job possible, why don't you just give us a go? And as soon as I gave it a go and took it seriously and really unlocked my passion, my business just flew. And the best part of it is the happiness that's come, the way I feel so content and inner peace. I don't know if anyone's ever had that feeling, but I never really had inner peace before. And to have inner peace and feel really calm and really centered and happy, just really happy, is just phenomenal. It really is. Just, oh dear. Sorry, technical failure. I've just broke the camera there within a piece. So yes, and to just have that is just amazing, and that's what we want for everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I think for Katie and I, we were both scared of following what our passions were, because obviously for a lot of people in the outside world, our passions are a bit, I guess, quirky. Like, for, you know, my passion's always been law of attraction, but I never even thought about making a business out of it, because I just wouldn't even have seen how that would have been possible. And yeah, I just wouldn't even seen how it would be possible. It felt so niche. But I think that's the thing. When you follow what your passions are, the universe supports you. It has to support you, because any desire you have is actually coming from the universe or God or the divine, whatever you want to call it. You are like a channel from the universe or God, and we are here to create. And so any desire you have isn't actually even coming from you, it's coming from the divine. So when you are following what your desires and passions are, everything falls into place beautifully for you. And both Katie and I built global businesses within like 2 weeks or something. It was ridiculous. But I think the universe and spirits had literally been like trying to give the signs to do these things for years. I think Katie and I were the same age, aren't we? I've just turned 38. So it took me 37 years to finally freaking follow my passion. And I think what's quite interesting about that is when I was a child, because when you're a child, you don't have all the programming that you have as an adult and the kind of misunderstandings around things. But as a child, I always knew I could do whatever it was that I wanted. And I feel like I've got that back again, that excitement back. And oh my God, I was coaching a client this morning, and even they said to me, I am the happiest I've been in my whole adult life. And that's because they're following their passions and going out there to create the lives of their dreams. And it's just the most delicious thing. It's the most delicious gift to be able to share with people. So Kate and I just really kind of want to help you guys do exactly the same and to inspire you with that. So I'm just thinking, Katie, I haven't been able to share this in your page in the way I wanted, or in your group in the way I wanted, but I've got another way I can do it, I think. So do you just want to carry on talking for 2 seconds? Thank you for bearing with us, guys. We'll have this nailed by the session 2 tomorrow. But yeah, so you kind of said a bit about your story, Katie. But do you want to tell people a bit about like how you even got into this? Because you've had these psychic abilities since you were about 2, haven't you?
Sorry, can you say that bit again?
Do you want to tell everybody who's watching sort of your journey, I guess, throughout your childhood? Because you've had these abilities since you were 2, and you shut them down so many times.
I know, what an idiot, what a complete idiot. Yeah, so I noticed my gift the first time when I didn't notice it, my family noticed it, when I was 3. And we lived in this, well, my mum and dad still live there now, this gorgeous house. It was quite old. They bought it at an auction, and the lady actually lived there before, had died, not in the house, but she'd have died. Actually, you know what, she probably did die in the house. Mum's just probably been lying to me the whole time. But her name was Lillian, and she lived in the house before us on her own. She was very old, she was very poorly. Can you all hear me? I've got a blender behind me in the background. Somebody's on the cocktails already, and it's like 9:10, all inclusive, typical. So it's not me. Anyway, so she found me talking to the lady at the bottom of the stairs, and she said to me, "Who are you talking to?" Because I used to talk to myself quite a lot. And I said, "Oh, Lillian." She's telling me all about the rose garden, and there was a rose garden outside the kitchen window, so it's like a beautiful sort of patterned patio. And Mum was planning to dig it up and then put down some nice patio furniture. And I said, "Oh, she said to leave her roses alone and look after her roses." And my mum was absolutely like, "What?" She was like, "Oh, okay, so that's it then. The rose garden stayed. The patio was delayed for like 15 years until I confirmed that Lillian was happy with it." Lillian didn't really like people in the house. She was very funny. She took a while to accept us, but she used to quite like me. She used to talk to me. And then in the house, we found an old book that had got photos of the house and the grounds and everything else, and Lillian. And I was like, "Oh, there's the lady I talked to. There she is." And Mum was like, "Oh my God." And she was just panicking. And I used to play with spirit friends. I used to collect Sylvanian family dolls, and I used to play with them in my room and talk to all my spirit friends. But again, I didn't realise they weren't people to me, because I was no filters as a child, and children have, because they don't have those filters, they tend to see more spirits than adults. And then as I grew older, I tried to just block it out because I realised I was different, and I didn't like being different, especially as a teenager, because as a teenager you want to be accepted, and I was like a cool kid. Well, I thought I was cool. I liked certain clothes, and I liked to be with certain people, and I was out partying from quite a young age, so I thought I was part of the cool crew. And I just put the filters up, but I could read people's palms, which was a bit weird, really. And everyone used to say, "Oh, have you had training for this? Who's taught you to read palms?" And I was like, "I don't know, I just can." And no one really batted an eyelid. I read their palms, and that was the end of that. And then as I grew older and I had my experience with Jessica, so I was in the hospital having Jessica, and it was really quite an intense thing because my placenta abrupted. So those of you that haven't had children, it's where you bleed really heavily, and I was in absolute agony. Anyway, they stopped the bleeding, gave me an epidural, and told me to sleep and wait for the contractions. And I remember my mum was in the room with me. It was just me and my mum, really quiet, nobody else was there. And I opened my eyes, and I wasn't asleep at all, because my mum, I woke her up to talk her through this. And I could see hundreds of spirits in the room, not hundreds, probably about 50 spirits in the room, nuns, normal people, just all chatting amongst themselves. No one was paying any attention to me. And I honestly thought, "Oh, can I swear, Sarah?" I thought, "Oh shit, I'm
Yes,
going to
you
die." I thought, "Oh shit, I'm going to die." And that's exactly what I thought. So I woke up my mum, and I was like, "They're all here for me," because I thought everyone knows that, or everyone's heard of the story where they do come for you, spirits do come to collect you. And I was thinking, there's no one I know there, so surely that's not the case, because my granddad would be there maybe. And I was thinking, uh-oh. Anyway, so I woke my mum, and she went, "Don't look at them." And she had her head down like this, and she went, "Don't look at them." And I said, "But they're all there." And she went, "Don't look at them, just put your head down." And I was like, "Okay." So I went like this, and they're all there looking at me, and I was like, really uncomfortable. I didn't really know what to do. And then I had a horrendous experience where I lost, a few hours after, I lost loads of blood. They couldn't stop it. Everybody was paged in. It was Christmas Day. I was just hemorrhaging really poorly. Eventually they did stop it, and I did get better, but it took a long time. I was in intensive care, and I was in a bit of a mess afterwards. And after that, roller coasted a whole lot of other gynecological problems, which I'll tell you about later. So it was just all very awful, but I was so grateful I was alive. I was just like, I'm alive, my daughter's okay, thank God, it's a miracle. And they were all there to look after me, and that's what I realised. They hadn't come to collect me, they were all there to look after me. So that was really comforting and really nice. And I thought, well, if they were all there and I could see them as clear as day, nobody else could, I've got to take this gift seriously, I've got to do something with it. And I didn't necessarily to start with. I read a few books. I read Doris Stokes, I read Tony Stockwell. I read a lady called Anne. She was a local psychic medium, but I can't remember her surname, but I've still got the book somewhere. And hers was very small, but she talked about the chakras and how to open up. But I didn't think I could ever make a career out of it, if that makes sense. I always thought it's so energy draining, it's so tiring. It takes such a lot of respect and commitment that I just didn't have the time to do it then. And I was thinking, I need to earn money. I've got to bring money into the house. So I went off to be trained to be a PA. So I'd worked in an office before, I'd worked in the bank. but I was literally the most bored person there ever. I think you've got to be a certain type of person to really enjoy that job, and that just wasn't me. The people who worked there really loved it. They progressed, they were happy to come to work every day, they were just really thriving, and I was dying in there. Like, my personality was dying, and they didn't like my games where, I mean, I was a bit childish. I used to take people's teddies off the counters and then off the desk, sorry, and then I used to go photocopy them and hold them to ransom and things like that, because I thought that was really funny. It's a bit childish now, but I wanted to inject a bit of fun into life, and it was just so boring. It was just so dull, and I could have progressed really hard. I tried to be quite serious, and I did get, I'm not stupid, but I've got quite high up in certain aspects, but I was dying more and more inside. The higher I was getting, the more I was dying. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I remember saying to Matt, it's killing my soul. And he thought I was crazy, because Matt loves an office. He thrives at work. He loves his job. And all my friends have got really high profile jobs, and they loved theirs, and they found a real buzz from it. And I just said, don't you feel like you're dying inside? They're like, no, not at all. You just need to find something you're passionate about, and then you'll feel really happy. And I was like, okay. So I kept trying new things, and it just wasn't working out. And in the end, I became quite poorly. So in between all this, I was going to psychic school. I was trying to develop, but I wasn't really clicking with the psychic school at all. I don't necessarily know why. I think they were a little bit, I found them quite strange. I found them very strange people, and I didn't really trust them. So every time we were doing meditation, which is in my latest blog, I'd sit there with one eye open like this, just checking that nobody was coming to tickle me, or nobody was going to jump on me or anything. And I don't know why I was being so silly, but I didn't feel connected to anybody in the group. I didn't feel as if I could relate to any of them. They were quite old, they were quite stuck in their ways, they didn't want to try any new thing. And it was just a bit disappointing. So I tried my best and stuck with it, and I learned some really good skills, which now I can train others to do. But I found that if you've got a natural ability, you know all these things anyway, because your guides tell you what to do, and your guides give you everything. A bit like you say with your inner guidance. When you say that, I understand what you mean, because you can feel it and you know what's right. And I don't know, somebody just tells me from a higher source what it is I need to do. So I trust that, and I trust my guides. So I learned how to connect to the guides, and what they did teach me was how to open up and then how to close off properly. And those are the two key things that you must master in this business, because if you don't do that, then you end up quite drained, quite lethargic, almost just walking around getting messages all day long. So I decided then I was going to do psychic school, and I was working full time, and I've got children and a house. It was just too much. And I got promoted at work, and I started to become quite poorly. And when I say poorly, I was really poorly. I had loads of gynecological problems with heavy bleeding, so it's very similar to endometriosis. I'd lie in bed, I couldn't move, I was no energy, my stomach would swell up, and I'd have either really bad diarrhea and blood. Sorry if this is too much information, but blood in my back passage, just awful symptoms. Symptoms of Crohn's and symptoms of endometriosis. And I was just so ill, and I just thought, what is wrong with me? Why am I so poorly? And I don't think it was the job, but I think stress played a major part in it, because I'm all 110%. I have to do everything 110%. That's my personality. So if I'm going to do something, I do it properly. And although I was dying inside at work, I thought I must make it a good thing with this, because everyone tells me that once you really feel passionate about something, it all flows. And I was thinking, so I must really keep going with this. And and the more I was pushing against it, and I was going, right, if I work really hard, and I put all my energy into it, and work really hard, and I'll be high up, and I'll progress, I'll be able to give my family this great life. And it wasn't working like that, because I was resisting it, and I was pushing against resistance, and it wasn't my path. And every single thing I've tried to do, the spirits have stopped me, and now I know I can stop. That's why I say to people, there's no such thing as a wrong decision, because no matter what you try and do, if it's the wrong thing, you will be stopped somehow, or you'll be put on another course. And then don't think you've wasted time on that, because now I think, I have to tell myself this quite a lot, I've wasted 37 years, but I haven't wasted 37 years, because in that time I've learned so many key skills, met so many key people that have helped me propel now into a certain direction. Whereas if I hadn't have gone on that journey, I wouldn't be the person I am now, and I wouldn't have the people I have in my life now. So I'm happy with it now. I've accepted it. So I stayed in the offices, and then I became really unwell. I missed loads of opportunities. I was offered all these amazing promotions, and I couldn't do any of them because I was too poorly. I wasn't getting any better. And then they offered me the hospital a hysterectomy. So I was like, oh, I don't know, because I've got 3 daughters, but I wanted at least 6. I wanted more and more children, even though, capacity-wise, I don't know where we would have put them, maybe in the loft, I don't know. But I wanted all these children. Matt didn't, he was quite happy with 3, and that was it. But I wanted more, so it was a massive decision for me, and I felt really sad, and I mourned not having any children that I hadn't even had, if that makes sense. And everyone was saying, you're so lucky, you've got 3 already, why are you... And I was like, yeah, but it's because the choice has been taken away from me, and once the choice has been taken away, you automatically feel, I don't know, just sad. I just felt really, really sad. And I temporarily definitely lost the plot because I found myself drinking, and I can't drink beer because I'm celiac. And I found myself sitting on the toilet, not to do anything, just sitting on the toilet because it's my only place of peace, with a can of beer, because it's the only alcohol I could find. This is like a few days before the operation. And swigging this can of beer, tears streaming. And Matt was like, hey, seriously, what is wrong with you? He's like, stop it, you've got to pull yourself together. He said, you don't want to do the operation, don't do it, but don't sit on the toilet drinking beer and crying. He's like, you've got to sort yourself out. But it was a fear of dying and fear of, which is ironic because I know you don't actually go anywhere, but fear of dying, and also the fear of, how can I put it? It not working, and then me have gone through all of the recovery process, and then it didn't work. So I was a bit like, just really, really frightened. And I'm a bit of a control freak, so I didn't like the thought of being put to sleep, even though I'd had it done before. And actually, it's quite nice. It's like, going to a spa, you feel really relaxed, and when you wake up, they're wrapping in towels. It's actually quite nice. So I was really scared, and I told all the doctors. I didn't hide it. I told everyone that had listened how scared I was. I told them all. I made such a big song and dance out of it that when I got in the hospital, they all knew who I was. They all were like, oh, it's Katie. Hi, Katie. And I was like, help me. And they were like, okay. And they all laugh at me. They all think I'm funny. I don't know why. So anyway, I don't know why they found me funny. But when I had the operation, it was like I'd opened a new book, a new chapter. So when I woke up, I felt great because all the pain, I know I was on morphine, but all the pain and everything had gone, the decision had gone, and I'd had full acceptance. They say, don't they, after you've gone through the stages of emotion, it becomes acceptance. And I accepted that was what was going to happen, and I felt really, really happy with it. I was okay, and I was like, right, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to do something different. This is my chance now. I'm not going to sit and be miserable. I think I thought, thank God I woke up, I'm alive. Yeah, okay, I haven't got certain parts of my body, but this is my new chance to do certain things. So I was really, really happy, and I got through the recovery. I was fine, everything was happy. I was mentally stable again. I wasn't drinking beer in the toilet, and I was absolutely fine. So then I joined network marketing because network marketing promised this life of, freedom, money. You can build a successful business at your own pace. And I was really, really excited about it. And I was like, I couldn't believe how happy I was. I stumbled across this amazing business where I could just be a businesswoman, entrepreneur, and still be there for my children, because it meant so much to be able to pick them up from school, to be able to be there for all the plays, and also when one of them's sick, there's 3 of them. And I just thought, I can't have any more children, so I'm going to make sure. If somebody keeps texting me and it keeps putting out, I'm going to make sure I'm the best person, the best mom and the best wife, and always be around and be able to do everything. So joined network marketing, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I can highly recommend it to everyone if you're struggling, because it was just wonderful. The training you get is phenomenal. I learned how to market a business, how to brand myself, confidence booster, although I was quite a confident person anyway, but it massively helped me even more. Technology, I learned how to use certain programs. I met Sarah, and I think that is the key thing. I met the most amazing people, and I'd say 2 of them I just couldn't be without now. These 2 people I've met, and I'm not going to name the other one because she'll be embarrassed, but the 2 people that I've met are just the best people ever, and they stuck by me through everything, and they're just fab. And Sarah, when I met Sarah, I was like, oh my God, Sarah's so fab. I loved her voice, I loved her accent, I loved her persona, and I just really connected with her. and I would never have met Sarah. And that's, I think, like I say to you, everything happens for a reason. I met Sarah, and the reason I went to network marketing was to learn how to brand myself and to meet Sarah, definitely. Then I changed companies, and I went with another company because the one I was with, it was quite saturated at the time. I wanted to try something new, and this other company was just better. So I joined this other one, and I met a lovely lady in that company. Again, I won't say her name, who was just phenomenal, really good at training. She just opened my eyes to things, and she was really, really kind. And thanks to her, as well as Sarah, is the reason that I'm doing this business now, that I'm a psychic medium and I'm actually telling people. I have the confidence to tell people. She massively helped me, and she helped give me a shout out. She just gave me a shout out and said, you know, this lady can read, she's really good. And, you know, she didn't have to do that because essentially she's lost me as a team member, but she was completely unselfish, and she just said she's great and she just wanted me to succeed. She's like, Kate, you've got to do this. This is just a brilliant skill you have. Just don't be scared to hide, you know, don't hide it away, just do it. And I was like, oh, I'm so scared. What if people think I'm a freak? It's like, people won't think you're a freak at all. And it is the fear factor, isn't it? And once you eradicate the fear, the rest flows. And then literally all I did was be myself, which is what we always say to do. I was be myself. I threw it into the lap of the gods. I took a chance. I was really scared because I thought, I hope people think that it's okay, because not everybody knew I could do it. I still want people to think, seriously, can she read people, and can she speak to the spirits on the other side? Not everybody accepts it, and I was really frightened that I wouldn't be socially accepted anymore. And that's just daft, it really is, because once you're true to who you are, the people that love you accept you for everything, don't they? And you know, if there are any doubters out there, well, hopefully I'll prove them wrong, but who knows. But I'm not there to prove people wrong, you know, it's up to them if they want to believe. Everyone's got different beliefs, and I fully accept that. So I just literally just did what I can do, show people, and that was it, and it all flowed. And the more I help people, and when I was waking up to people sending me emails saying thank you, you know, you've given me such strength and hope, and you know, they were crying on the readings, and to be able to connect people to their loved ones and pass on key messages that mean the world to them, oh, I can't even begin to tell you, it makes me so happy. It just makes me so happy, and that's what I want to do. I want to help as many people as possible. And because I myself and Sarah felt so lost, this is why we want to help people on a grander scale. I just want to help everyone. And I do, everywhere I go, I help people with doors, I help people if they're, you know, struggling to carry bags or anything. I just help everyone, because that's what my sole purpose is to help people and pass on messages and just give people that strength and inner guidance, and just love, just give people love, be kind, you know, there's no reason to not be. And by doing that, and I said to the spirits, you know, I love what I can do, thank you for my gift, it's amazing, and it is funny, and some of the things they send me is quite hilarious, and I say thank you, but I can't make a career out of it. I can't live doing this. It's just not going to be tangible for us. We have mortgages to pay, we have bills. I can't live and make this a business. And they said to me, we will always look after you, make sure that you're looked after if you do this. And I was thinking, really? I'm losing the plot now, really? But they've kept their promise. So as long as I keep my promise, they'll keep their promise. And I love it. I've never been happier. And like I was saying to you, to have that contented feeling, it's just amazing. And I've learnt now to tell them that they can't talk to me at certain times, because they will. They'll keep talking to me. And like I used them the other night, and I shouldn't have used them for this. I was playing Go Fish with the family, and I'm really competitive. And we were just round the table round here, and I was playing Go Fish, and I asked them, you know, which one had this certain card. They told me, and all the family went, "You're using your gift. You're using it." And I was like, "I won." And my brother was like, "Can I take the table from the casinos?" I was like, "No." So I am naughty, and I shouldn't use it for that. That was the only time, because I thought it was funny, and I thought, I'll see whether it does work, but they helped me, and they did. They helped me, and I wouldn't go fish, and everyone was really annoyed, going, "Unfair advantage." So it's yeah, but it's just an amazing gift, and to be able to help people, and also to be able to see inside somebody. So now when I look at somebody, if they're portraying happiness and they're all giggly and they're laughing, and on the outside they look wonderful, I can almost see through if there's anything else. So even without being tuned in, I can look through and go, okay, yeah, so and so's got that going on, and I'll say to Matt, oh, it's a shame that so and so's got this happening in their life, and you'll say, did they tell you that? And I'm like, no, they didn't tell me. I can see it and see exactly how they're feeling. I know exactly what they're thinking, and I can read their mind. And I can't always give a message or connect to their spirit guides, but I can read them, so I can connect to their spirit guides and to their spirits around them and their loved ones if I meditate and tune in. But day to day, I can walk around and I can read people, and I know if somebody's holding back, or I can read someone's thoughts. Or for example, I'm in Mexico now. I can't understand what they're saying, but I know what they mean, and I don't think that's that is my gift. So I can see what they're looking at, and they mumble under their breath and they get in the Spanish. And I've gone, oh really? And they look then and they say, you know what I mean? I said, actually, he's just said this. And he's like, you can't speak Spanish? And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I know what he's just said. He's just said this. So I can read certain things, and it's just amazing. It does blow my mind. And sometimes I take it for granted, as it's the norm. And then other times I'm massively like in awe or shock almost that I can see certain things. So it just varies. But that's my story, that's where I'm up to, and loving it and can't wait for the future. So excited.
Very exciting.
Have I talked too long, Sarah? Sorry if I do.
No, it's fine. We'll keep this to about an hour, but just to say, guys, if you have any questions for Kate and I, start posting them below. This is your chance to ask us questions. You'll be able to ask us questions on each of the sessions. Today's session is just kind of Kate and I telling you our backgrounds and getting you to really start thinking about what your passions are as well. And just, if you're not sure what your passions are, ask the universe for guidance as well. And just start seeing what comes through. And then what we're going to do over the forthcoming 4 sessions is do a review of 2017, look at kind of what you want to create and manifest and achieve in 2018, and then start giving you some tools and start encouraging you to start taking those first steps. Because it's this whole attitude of one day I'll do this and one day I'll do that when the time's right. With all the love in the world, why wait? Like, if not now, when? Like, I waited for 37 years. Kate did the same. Yes, our journeys led us to now and gave us lots of skills. But if I had known this 5 years ago, I would have left PR 5 years ago and cut down all the time it's taken me to get to this point. So really do just start thinking, what are your absolute passions? And don't, I would say, hand on heart, don't think about what are your passions that you can make money out of. It's the wrong way around. Just think about what makes your heart sing. What can't you get enough of? What gets you out of your head and in this kind of gorgeous zone by only thinking about that and not focusing on anything else. Because I'm a law of attraction coach, as a lot of you know. The Kate's skills and my skills really amazingly blend, and that's something we realised a couple of months ago. But with Mastering the Art of Manifesting, that's my Facebook group, my business name, but when you're mastering the art of manifesting and learning to work law of attraction, in really, really simple terms, the main thing for you to do is follow your inner guidance and urges and look for reasons to feel really happy, for all the things you can do that make your heart sing and bring you joy. And when you're in that emotional state, you're in peak manifesting flow anyway, without all the other manifesting things there are that you can access. As a basic point, you are doing what makes your heart sing, and you are following your bliss. I know these all sound really cliche. I used to think they were really cliche, but now I get it. When you follow your bliss, the universe looks after you and supports you, because when you're following your bliss, you're doing what you're actually down here to do. You're doing what the universe is guiding you to do, so the universe can only support you. And I've had so many clients in lots of different areas, and they are all just manifesting money as a part of everything else that they're manifesting, whilst they're creating the lives of their dreams, just because they are in an emotionally really happy place. So everything's manifesting to them. So please try not to think of what are you passionate about, that money. Just keep two separate. What are you passionate about? Start taking the first steps in that now, and we'll give you some more training around that over the coming days. But just as a bit of background about me, Kate and I thought it's really important to our stories, because we know some of you will relate, and hopefully will inspire you to take that leap like we've done. So my background is, I worked in PR for 12 years in central London. I loved it to begin with. For the last 5 years of that time, I was bored. I couldn't really progress anymore. I couldn't really earn anymore. I was just very stagnant. And as Katie was saying, spirits give for lots and lots of guidance. For me, I work with my inner guidance that comes from in here, which I call universal guidance. I think it's the same sort of similar stuff. But I knew I wanted to leave, but I was not listening to the urges and the guidance that I was getting from the universe. I wasn't listening to those gut feelings. I was ignoring them and ignoring them and ignoring them. Is my audio quiet? Someone said that earlier. Hang on. Let me get my headphones. Bear with.
At least you can find your headphones. One of them missing on the plane. I don't know where.
Oh, no. Sorry, let me plug in so you can all hear me, because I did notice that when I did a live earlier, where I did a shared live. Right, hang on. Thank you for the feedback, Kathleen. Right.
Hey, Lorna.
Oh, hang on.
Hey,
sorry,
Hannah.
guys. I've got the
Is it still cold in the UK?
Pardon?
Is it still cold in the UK? I was going to say. Just asking everybody if it's still cold in the UK.
Yes, it's freezing. Right, can you guys hear me better now? Hopefully you can hear me better. Okay, sorry guys, bit of a learning curve. Tomorrow it will flow seamlessly. So yeah, I worked in PR. I didn't like it for the last 5 years. I kept getting urges to leave and desires to leave. I literally just was ignoring them. And then what I say to all my clients is, if you don't listen to your inner guidance, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, to the point the universe will clout you. So in the end, the universe just clouted me. Something major happened at work. It was really freaking stressful. And I just, that was that switching moment for me. You know, everyone has a big moment in their life they remember that set them on a different path. That was that for me. And I was just like, I can't do this for another 40 years. I'm literally going to shoot myself. I was seeing my boss running around, like, literally, it's true. I was like, I cannot do this. And I was seeing my boss running around and flapping and everything, preparing for a meeting. And I was like, I cannot do this. I literally cannot be doing this for 40 years' time. So anyway, I finally jumped into network marketing, because again, I was focusing on the how. I was thinking, how can I get a laptop lifestyle? How can I kind of work for myself? And I had no confidence that I could build my own business. So I went down the network marketing route, which was amazing. It was really, really amazing, but it wasn't what I was passionate about. And now I have the privilege of meeting some amazing women and men in network marketing, and they're doing beautifully because they're passionate about it. So it just reinforces, when you do what you're passionate about, everything flows. So after a couple of years in network marketing, I was like, right, I've manifested everything I wanted. Like, I wanted like the dream cottage and all these other things, working part-time. I'd manifested it all, but network marketing hadn't got me there. And so that was around March time this year. And then I remember just thinking, I've manifested everything I wanted, but the network marketing hasn't got me there. Right, I'm not enjoying the network marketing. And I left the 9-to-5 PR world to do something that fed my soul, made my heart sing. Network marketing isn't doing that for me. What am I going to do? Cut to then me having a 5-week meltdown of like, oh my God, what am I going to do if I don't do network marketing? I can't go back into the city. I'm going to shoot myself. I don't know why it's so funny. And then during that time, I started implementing a lot of the tools for manifesting that I now coach with the Blue Door. Giuseppe knows me very well and has heard this story many a time. And yeah, I started using the tools that I now teach. And within like 3 or 4 weeks, I suddenly just had this inspired idea. I'm passionate about law of attraction. I mean, I don't know where this idea came from, but that's how law of attraction works. You get this random inner guidance. And I was like, screw it. I'm just going to play around with it. I'm just going to try it. Because I was literally at the point where I was like, I have nothing to lose. And I had no attachment to it. Perfect manifesting energy, by the way. And then within 2 weeks, I had a global client base. And then like 8 months on, like, I literally can't believe how much the business has grown, how I'm now working with people that literally feed my soul. All of my clients I love so much, like, And that was not the case in PR. A lot of my clients I didn't like and were quite scary. And yeah, like Katie says, I just wake up every day and I'm just so excited and so privileged, and I've designed a life completely on my terms. For me, my dream life involved working really part-time, having a laptop lifestyle and helping people around the world to change their lives. That was it, and that's what I've manifested. And so I really hope that Katie and I can inspire you to just follow your passions, just follow your passions, and then that will lead you to your purpose. It's so cliche, but it's true. And don't just take it from Katie and myself. I'm seeing it in my clients left, right and centre now. It is what works. So yes, if anybody has any questions, ask them. Can everybody hear Katie okay? Now I've got my headphones in. It's sounding really, really loud on Katie's end. But I don't know whether that's just because I've got my headphones in.
But the Mexican music, can you hear it all? Can you hear the Mexican music?
No. Oh yeah, no, I can.
It's like oh, la, 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 la.
So yeah. So listening to both of you has been inspirational. So thank you, Jane. Is the sound quality okay though? Just so we know for the coming, because obviously tomorrow and the 3 days after that, we're going to be definitely weaving in more kind of tools for you to use and more specific training. But I think for you, what would be amazing for you guys to do this evening or this afternoon or this morning, wherever in the world you are watching this and whenever you're watching it, even if you're watching it on the replay, sit down and just brainstorm the things that make your heart sing. Don't think about how you can turn it into a business. Okay, thanks, Lorna. Just think about how... Sound is a bit rough. Okay. Okay, some can, some can't hear us okay. Sound is fine in Tunisia. Oh, very nice, Rebecca in Tunisia. So what was I going to say? Yeah, just brainstorm the things that make your heart sing. What are your passions? And don't think about the how. Don't think about how that's going to translate into a business at this stage. Just list out all the things that make your heart sing. So for me, it's things like law of attraction, it's traveling, it's getting out into the countryside, it's even doing things like having nice indulgent baths. It doesn't all have to be big stuff, but just write a list of the things that really make your heart sing and that just help you feel really peaceful and happy and calm. And then we can start from there and start playing around with those things tomorrow and giving you some more clarity. But really it is just about starting to follow your passions as the first steps. Do you have anything to add, Katie?
Yeah, I think for me, I felt really confused and I didn't know what to do. So I wrote a pro and con list, and that's not the ideal thing to do. So I wrote what I was good at and the cons against that. And now I've read that book that you recommended to me, which I'm still halfway through. It's literally, that's not a great thing to do. So just write what you're good at, what you enjoy, and keep it all very positive. Forget about the cons. Just write exactly what makes you happy, what you feel you would like to wake up to, what your ideal day looks like. And when I started this, I was thinking, well, yeah, my ideal day is getting up, taking the kids to school and having lots of spare time to do things, speaking to people all over the world. And I thought, well, that's not really a career, is it? That's not realistic. So you've really got to take the pragmatic thought process out of it and just put everything in there that makes you happy. So if waking up and appearing on Loose Women, for example, would make your heart sing, don't disregard that. Don't think that's too out there, that's too weird, or that's totally out of reach. Just write it down, because, you know, it might not necessarily happen, but it gives you that buzz, it makes you feel happy, it puts you in a better place, more positive place, and you know more where you want to go. And that's what we're going to help you do, that's what we want to help you with. So you need to sort of work with us now and do these little tasks, and then we can come back and see exactly where is making you happy. It might be the case that you are actually in something that is making you happy, and if that's the case, then that's wonderful and amazing. We're really, really happy for you, but the vast majority of people sadly aren't. So if we can help those ones that aren't, and just write it down. You can do a vision board there, Lorna, yeah, you can, but I would do a list to start with. Just keep it really basic, really simple. Myself and Sarah have learnt massively to simplify everything. I totally overcomplicate everything in life, and I've had to really stop doing that and just go, okay, I'll do it like this works, this flows, this doesn't flow. And I've learned to disregard anything that's hard as well. So don't make it hard. Don't have to sit there and cut up magazines and get pins and all that. Just write it down on a piece of paper and just see what happens. And that's what I did, and that's how I got to sort of brainstorming as to where I'm going to go in the direction. Would you agree with that, Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just keep it simple. I think I need to update my vision board, and I've started off by just writing a list of all the things I want to manifest in 2018. So at the minute it's a list, and then I'll go off and create the vision board. And also, because we are going to be doing session 2 tomorrow, it's much easier for you to do that as kind of homework, although I don't really like that phrase, rather than going off and creating a whole vision board at this stage. It's just to help you start to get clarity, basically. And then, so yeah, and then Katie and I will be back on again at 2 o'clock tomorrow, same time tomorrow, and we'll be helping you to do a review of 2017, which is really exciting because I want to do that myself. I haven't actually done that for myself yet this year. What you like, as in to do for work, or just what you like doing, hobbies, just what you're passionate about, Lorna. Don't think about how it can correlate into work. Just write down what your passions are, the things that make your heart sing, the things that make you zone out just onto that thing and not think about anything else. That's your starting point. Jane says, I found that making lists of things I loved as a child really gave me insights too. Yeah, definitely, because when you're a child, you're so much more connected to source. You don't have all that adult conditioning, which is all like scaremongering and be careful and be cautious and like this is a risk and that is a risk. Think about stuff that you loved as a kid. I know horse riding is one thing that I need to start doing because that's always just been a passion. I've never really done it. Lorna, can we replay these? Yes, my angel, they will stay live in Katie's groups and my groups for you. You're welcome, Joe. Yeah, Lorna, don't worry, my angel. So many of my clients I work with overthink in the beginning, and I can still do the same, and Katie can still do the same, but it's remembering law of attraction and the spirit world. It's all about simplicity. And also, Lorna, you come from a corporate background like Katie and I do. So initially you are going to want to plan everything and overthink. Law of attraction and like creating exciting change is about just moving with your passions without the overthinking. And then you get the next steps given to you when you start taking the first steps. But we'll be helping you with all of that over the next few days as well. So yeah, so if do you have anything to add, Katie, before we wrap this up? It's about 10 to now, unless anybody has any questions.
Yeah, I was going to say that if for those of you who've done a list tomorrow, if you want me to sort of tune in, if you read out, can they type in, if you type in your list and into the chat tomorrow, and I can tune in for you and see which of those items on your list are the strongest energy connection. So if you want me to do that, that'd be great, guys, and I'm more than happy to do it. I'll meditate before. I might seem a bit distant because I'll be getting messages through, but I can meditate before and see if I can connect to exactly which one gives you the stronger energy. Because we can all write lists as long as your arm about things that make you happy, but you might not know exactly which one is the key or which one is the real passion one for you. So let the spirits do it for you, let your guides do it, and let me ask them and see if they can connect to it. Would that be all right?
Yeah, amazing. I love it.
Reading. This is the longest I've gone like that.
I know. That's the other thing, when you're doing what you love, you miss it when you don't do it.
I do miss it.
Fabulous. Okay, guys, any questions, pop them below. And even if you're watching this on the replay, if you have any questions, pop them below and Katie and I will answer them. We'll be back on again at 2 o'clock tomorrow, so bring your lists, and we'll do some more exciting stuff with you. And remember to have fun, keep it simple. Law of attraction and all of this is about having fun and keeping it simple. So yeah, that sounds great. So we will see you tomorrow back on here at 2 o'clock GMT. Yeah?
I'll try and find somewhere that hasn't got Mexican music in the background. Everywhere I go, it's like,
I like it. I like it.
Or blenders.
You're so welcome, Charlotte, and everybody. Thank you for the lovely messages. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in or watching this on Catch Up. This is why you guys being on here and watching these lives makes our hearts sing. So yes, thank you for all the lovely messages. Right, my angels, and we will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you all tomorrow. Remember to do your list. Big loves.
Bye.